Here's a good question. I think it's not good because I made it, but Keith, how important is your life, your total life experiences, all your work history, your relationships, to your artistic development and your art today? How do you use that full circle?
I mean, like I said in the first question, art is life. Okay, so my life experiences, whether it be happy, sad, whether it be confusing or clear, whether it be successful or failure, they can give an adrenaline shot. They can give a steroid needle to my poetry or to my message. Especially if I take my mind out the equation and I follow my heart.
Oh, love it.
You know, and I tell aspiring writers, and I didn't become a halfway decent writer until I followed that template. You know, where your mind is just for editing, your mind is for the ending part.
Say it.
But the heart, just let it go. Like misspell words, write things crazy, but then use your mind to kind of put it in format for the masses to grab it. So back to your initial question, you know, my job's dealing with people, typhus. I dealt with HIV positive clients. I'm a bouncer, so I deal with intoxicated thugs, or I deal with this, that, and third. And these experiences, whether it be positive, whether it be emotional, whether it be shocking, you know, they plant these little seeds of thought, and I try to transfer those seeds of thought into my heart, to the emotion, because that's what triggers. Like, man, you know, why is this woman here when she has a kid in custody and she's spending all the money, but yet we're trying to find funds to get her apartment? You know, these life experiences, I would try to infuse those into my poetry. Now, it can be personal, or it can be stuff you've seen, but what I will always say is always draw from your heart and use your mind. Life is art. So now the first question that you asked, this is the full circle answer to, you know, that your best work will come from your life experiences, will come from things and people, interactions that you had, and people you might have met along the way. It might come from discouragement. It might come from injustice. It might come from opportunity given. You know, one thing that I'm desperately trying to do is write more of that positive poetry, too, and try to infuse the two. You know, because every day, this is a beautiful day, brother. You know, the sun is nice, we're under a nice tree, and, you know, the wind is flying around, and we're feeling good, you know. So today, I can write some vibrant poetry. And I think a lot of us, we get stuck with all what's been done to us and what we're trying to do or what we're trying to overcome, and we don't enjoy and really live life. And that should be reflected in our art, too. You know, the positivities and, you know, the being able to chill with your significant other and really live life. So drawing from life experience, using your heart, and then telling all with your mind is the way to really, really get that message out there and to have the ultimate expression.
I agree. I'm not going to add. I know the Pharaoh Tutmos says that he followed his heart in all matters. And some other Kemetic literature talks about we should control our mind should control us. And then this goes into that meditation and that aspect, that spiritual aspect, which a lot of us don't develop because of some of the belief systems that we have. They don't really go into meditation and teach us, because it's a discipline. Teach us how the mind works and how the heart works. Now, the sacred texts imply these things, but you really have to get to the nitty-gritty to know how to shut your mind off when it's telling you craziness.
Yes.
How your emotions tie into your mind, and you're going and you're reacting and you're doing stuff where you have control of all this now. Wow. So that's another YouTube.
You can add.
Go ahead.
Sorry, because you just said so much is powerful. I mean, think about our jails. I mean, 70% of them, honestly, are not criminals. They're people that caught up in the emotions of that moment and, you know, had criminal reactions or found themselves in an outcome that broken the law. But that ability to separate what you're feeling emotionally and what you're thinking mentally is extremely powerful in success and living.
Usually in that moment, too.
And using it in the moment. Right in the moment. And I even say this, and it's funny, we might go out elsewhere, but I'm seeing a lot.
No, that's cool. That's good. It's real.
And me and my brother Elliot were talking about it recently, but I'm seeing a lot of the police killings and a lot of, obviously these sad, tragic deaths, these awful moments. And no doubt, the blame, the onus goes on these corrupt individuals that, step outside of the law and try to put justice in their own hand. But let me look at you and look at myself. When we're getting pulled over and we're confronted with racism, we're confronted with oppression, we're confronted with ignorance.
In that moment. Yes.
We have to detach our emotions and we have to jump into our mind. And talking back and inciting and throwing gasoline on fires, resisting. Those are not time because we're just dying. And now we have one less soldier that can further this movement. And we have one less queen that can birth that next king that's going to, change this whole thing. And what your point was said and what we're seeing constantly, brothers and sisters, I need you alive. Take that L, go to court, fight it later, take that ticket, take that overnight bid, but all that, what I did, and this ain't right, there's different coaches that they lawyer up for that. Go ahead. Oh, my bad. Bro.
No, that's all right. And again, we talked earlier in another piece, that's ego personality. Mm-hmm. That's discipline. Mm-hmm. That's integrity. That's character. You got to know when. See, you can be great. You can be a great artist, but you still got to know when to back down and be humble. You said it earlier.
Yes, sir. Now I'm learning from this man because all Joe self is enough. I'm listening because I want to apply some of the stuff he's saying to my work. When I read books, I'm not into the plagiarism, and shout out to Drake and Meek Mills and the ghostwriting and all that stuff, but I'm not into that. But wisdom and knowledge is knowledge. And if somebody says something that I can apply in a different context, then it's not plagiarism. It's not a third. It's actually, a gift from God. And, you have to be humble enough to know when it's coming, though. And back to what you originally said, you have to detach your emotions and your mind, because sometimes emotionally, that argument you had before you left out the house can block you from the wisdom that you might encounter on the bus stop.
There is a full circle. It can happen at home, in your relationship. It can happen in your community. It can happen with your police officer. It can be happen on the corner to the dude who steps on your toe or on the bus. Mm-hmm. All those are moments that if you react the wrong way can take you in a totally different direction. Not only for that day, it could take you in a total direction for your entire life. Or put you in jail. Or you can catch a bullet. Or get stabbed. Now, I don't know. We're trying to stay positive. Yes. But we're also being real.
And it's a message of love. We're saying it with this type of emphasis for all the future moments that's about to take place.
That's
all the other Sandra Blands and everybody else. We need you alive. We need you alive. Ultimately, if this comes to fruition and my man gets the support that he needs to touch the millions and the masses and vice versa, we're going to need you at the rallies. We're going to need you at the signings. We're going to need you at all these things because we do it for you. Your opinion, your thoughts, your heart, your experiences matter. That's what we write.
Yeah. We can't do it alone. We know we're going to make money and be able to support ourselves and have something to eat, but it's about humanity. It's about life changes, and we want to offer some more other than what the community offers us. We can go on and on, but I mean, I'm getting goose pimples. I'm getting goosebumps because it's about change.
It is.
I mean, you could just chew on that and realize that, as you said earlier, we can do better. You can do better, but it's a matter of. But you have to have the proper information. You have to have, and it's just a little information. It's a little here and it's a little there. And it's information that usually your culture's not going to give it to you, or they give it to you in a kind of skewed way, or they put it, or they hide it. But it's not out there where you can say, "Oh, this is edible. This is good food for me." Correct. They put it in a poison cereal.
You just summed up the education system.
Oh, man. I went out.